Yes, as you hear from the intro, I am back. After, I think, I played somewhat on the Switch, but I want to say probably a year and a half from actually playing. Um, so, why am I back? Why does this toxic puppet player have to come back and annoy everyone with his just outbursts and everything? Hmm. Well, there's a few reasons why I came back, and I've actually prepped this video a few times, and I even wrote a few scripts because this video is going to be really simple to make. It's just what I have a hard time with is kind of like justifying why I'm coming back because there really is no justify um, why because I never retired. It's pretty simple. It's that I never quit Naruto. Just life got to me. I am an adult. I have to worry about other things now, and just I had to for a while. I was struggling financially, and I had to choose between my Switch and my PlayStation 4 during the time a couple years back, and I decided my PlayStation 4 because I didn't really play it as much as the Switch, and now that I'm more financially secure and more financially humble. Like I'm able to spin a little bit more. I wanted to get a PlayStation 4, and it wasn't specifically for Naruto. Naruto was just a plus that came with it, but the main reason was because there's just so many games that I wanted to play that I just couldn't play because when I had the PlayStation 4, when I got it, I think 2017 is when I got it. So January or something like that. I didn't really have a job, and when I did have a job, I just wasn't financially secure. But now that, like I said, that I've worked and I will be working a lot more off my ass and more for my future. Uh, but now that I'm old enough, I can actually support myself and get games that I can buy and uh, you, it's hard to talk about this topic because a lot of people, I'm sorry, but a lot of people don't understand uh, financially struggles. And so, like a lot of the Naruto community, which I'll talk about this later, part of the script because this is actually this is later on in the video. But I wanted to say this now, is a lot of people judged me, and a lot of people are kind of like seeming like they're glad that I'm back. Um, and not everyone knows directly that I'm back, but after this video, it'll probably be official. Um, but a lot of people like judged me when I sold my PlayStation 4, and now they're judging me again that I got my PlayStation 4 back, and people don't understand that I didn't do it to quit Naruto. I didn't do it for this and that. I did it because I was financially unstable. And people don't understand struggle, and people make fun of people who struggle. And I don't understand that because when you're struggling, you would like support and help, but yet when someone else is struggling, you like to judge and make fun of them. So that's another reason why I didn't feel comfortable talking much in the previous years I've been gone, is because people, especially in the Naruto community, don't understand. They don't. So we will talk about more about that later, but I wanted to clarify real quick. Like, I didn't sell my PlayStation 4 and then retire, quote unquote, from Naruto. I never did quit. I just life life. That's all I have to say. Anyone who understands knows exactly when I just say life happens. So that being said, what are my main goals of coming back? Well, there's a few things, but I will just top on probably the main two I want on this video, probably three if I feel like talking about it. But number one is I've been seeing just so many YouTube videos, and like I'm not saying the community in the Naruto games are coming back, but it's definitely not dying. anytime soon. Like, people keep saying that this game's dead, and maybe in some cases, sure, but like, I know what a dead game looks like. I've played Black Clover, I played Final Fantasy Dissidia, and those games are dead. This game is not dead. There's still rules, and um, I would like to, I guess, again, this is where the toxicness, put my business and my nose into it because of my knowledge. You know, I've been around for years, and even though I never was considered a top player, and you know, that's fine. Even now, even before when I did play a couple years back, I was never a top player. I'm not that good. I know I'm not. I know that I just have a boosted ego because it's fun. You know, like, a lot of people don't understand that there's an ego on purpose, and then there's the ego legitimately, and mine was completely on purpose. And those who knew me knew that I was 100% troll. Like, I am. I find that fascinating that everyone's just like, yeah, he's this and that, and like, no one actually knew who exactly I was, and like, no one knows me in person. Like, anyone who like will tell you that has met me in person, at least, I'm not gonna say I'm the most chill person, but I'm definitely not what I am on, on like my online ego, especially it was a few years ago when I was undiagnosed with certain things. So, hmm. So yeah. I want to kind of make a few videos about some history, especially puppet history, because like a lot of people, you know, I'm very passionate about puppets. If no one knew about that, wow, what a surprise! Um, but I'm extremely passionate about puppets, and I understand. Um, I would say probably more about the history. Um, that was interesting. I have a lot to give on puppet history and just some of the things. Like, if I have been playing since Generations, granted, or I've been playing since Generations, but Naruto Storm 3 is, I would say, is where I started my real competitive scene. And I've been maining puppets since 2012. Actually, 2008 if you want to go on the GameCube games, because I even mained the Crow puppet in Konkoro on, what was it, Rise of the Ninja. So, um, I want to give back on history uh, to the Naruto community, from also a perspective of someone who a lot of people don't know. Um, a lot of people don't know the puppet, like some of the facts of puppet history, and I know that video, when that time comes, will be really controversial because I would have to distinguish between Xbox and PlayStation and all that, and that will be a debunkle. So yeah. So next on the few other topics, I would really, really like to, I guess I would say, revamp or revise my puppet tutorials. Yes, I've been gone for a while and everything, but there's just some things that I even see from today puppet masters that they could do better on or accomplish better things if they knew. And I, you know, a lot of the puppeteers don't know to this day because, and again, we will go probably the history. We'll probably go into uh, that into the history of puppets and the mechanics of puppets, and especially when Storm 4 comes, because I know when that part of that video is made, I know Storm 4 is going to be one of the most controversial of all my videos in the puppet history, because I'm just going to speak facts on so many things, and a lot of puppet masters are going to fucking hate me on some things, and they're going to think I'm an egotistical asshole, but there's just some things that's just true. Um, and they just don't have backing behind them to prove me wrong, which I have backing. So, like, perfect example, like, in my puppet tutorials, I never talk about the enhanced dashing, your puppet dash canceling, and just some of the implements that you can do with a puppet dash cancel like you could with a normal character. And yes, I've talked about that in videos in the past, and I've talked about a lot of other things, like everything that I want to revamp on, yes. But now that I am older, I would say more experience, and have a lot more I guess of a clear mind now than I was when I was younger, that I think I could make not only better tutorials but actual puppet tutorials that even top tier puppet players can't really deny. Like, they never deny my tutorials, but I never explain why. Like, for example, like on my three points to learn how to use a puppet, I talked about puppet dashing and how puppet dashing is so important. But a lot of people don't understand. Like this right here, you see where I dashed my puppet after he countered. That you can do, but you have to know how to puppet dash properly. And that I scripted that so perfect. You have no idea how many times I have went over this and wanted to script that. But perfect example is dashing is so important because in Storm 4, that's all the puppets have is to dash, really. I mean, you have Elder Conqueror's Air, but you still need to know how to dash. Storm 4 puppets is dash. And a lot of puppet players to this day, even low tier, doesn't really know dashing with puppets. Like, they just, again, use the supports and run. And this is where I know the Storm 4 video will get controversy, because guess who does the most dashing and actually founded or brought the techniques to Storm 4? Hi. So I know that's going to be controversial, and I can't wait for that. But so I definitely want to revisit my puppet tutorials, because I could definitely explain so much more now, and I can give a lot more strategies, I can show a lot more, and now that I could actually get support and help from other people, I can get advice from other people and, have their intake on it. I also wanted to do a like a puppet Entei tutorial, where people who struggle against puppets, I'm not going to say I'm the best Entei puppet, person. If you see my history, I'm definitely not. But I do have at least a good idea how to beat them, and I've fought plenty of puppet masters, and as a puppet master, I can give some details and some advice to people who struggle against puppets, and that's kind of like what I want to do is also, make some videos on Entei puppets and how to fight against puppets in the future. So yeah, that's part of the plan. I am thinking on doing is just revisiting some puppet tutorials, doing the basics, doing advanced, and then each individual puppet again, and then doing Entei puppet, because that's one thing I actually do not see is a lot of Entei puppet videos, and then when you do see them, it's with other people who I'm sorry, they're not good Entei puppet players. Like, I know who are the Entei puppet players to this day. I still know who they are. And I will tell you that the people who upload the YouTube videos are not Entei puppet players. They are not a threat in the puppet community. They do not be like, oh yeah, we need to worry about those, or that technique, or this and that. No. There are specific ways to... It's a mindset. To beat a puppet master, a good puppet master, you have to have a good mindset. So we would do a whole video on that, but that's another plan I have in the future. So stay tuned for that. Hopefully that goes well. So yeah, this actually sums up the video, I guess, or the summary of it. There is a third thing I want to talk about, but I think I'm going to wait for that topic once I can get more advice, information, and ideas crafted for that. So it's a pretty big project, and that's the thing is a lot of people don't know now about me is, so where I live, a little thing called marijuana is now legal. Well, it's not recreational. You get to get your med card and everything. But anyways, there's a lot of events, there's a lot of places that's open, there's a lot of buildings that are being reused specifically to do these weed events, basically these THC weed events and everything. Well, I have been pretty big where I live in the community, and I have I'm a crafter, obviously, and I have made all kinds of things, and I've made all kinds of connections. And so that being said, that's kind of the hint of one of the big projects I have for at least, if not next year. Um, I really want to shoot for next year. Honestly, I've been talking to a few of the vendor, the event owners and places like and people like them, hostess and stuff like that, to get a place and stuff like that. So that's the big hint of what I want to accomplish by next year. However, I do have another big project. If this goes well, then I'll be working on this big project next year. And that will be coming up around December or January. So I'll have a video in more detail, if not by the end of the month, next month. So yes, stay tuned for that. Other than that, that's all I want to say is, yes, I am back. I'm not going to be, once again, just like I was years ago, I'm not interested in competitive play. Um, I'm not interested in becoming a top player. I'm not interested in any of that. I am just here to literally play, have fun, and just teach people, just show people, teach people a game that I truly do love, and a community that, yes, this is where I'm gonna go on the community part of the video, um, because that's all I wanted to say when me coming back. But this is where I kind of really want to go in the community. So with my big project, I do have a reason for coming back in a big project that I want to do, January, December, if not by the end of next year. And I really want to talk about the community. And I will have a specific video for the community in the future, but I want to explain in this video of also another reason why I left. I did not leave because the community is toxic. I never was in the mindset that the community is toxic. Do I agree with that now that I've left and now that I have, I will say probably more mellowed out, relax, and actually like took a break from video games to see things. Yeah, I mean, I think the community is pretty toxic, but I don't think it's like a toxic to the point where everyone makes a big deal about it like they do. I think it's toxic as just a community. I mean, you can't expect having a big group of people playing one game and not all be, what's the word? Get along. It's like it's just like politics and history and everything. You have a bunch of people with different opinions, different views, different ideas, different play sets, different thoughts on how they play, stuff like that. And so I can understand that, and I respect some of these people. So that being said, I do want to give my apologies for some of the people I was talking to, and I would say my attitude back then. Like I said, I've been through a lot as a teen, and I won't lie to you guys. The Naruto community, regardless of how toxic it has been, and regardless if I'm not been big or not, has been there for me. I've never was good with people in real life. I've always had a hard time making friends. I don't have a hard time connecting with people. I just have a hard time making friends because I just don't trust people. Um, and even though I was, like I said, never popular in the Naruto community, and I was never really big, and I never was a top player, and I was probably more of a joke, or a lot of people never took me serious. I understand why, and I also, it did suck, but I also still want to say thank you for not only the people that gave me a chance, but just for the Naruto community as a whole. Even when I was on the Xbox as a 13-year-old, it I still had something. I came home to an abusive family and to being bullied at school constantly. So coming home and playing Naruto was really nice. And I have a lot in my heart to give back. So thank you all for watching. This is the Jester Gambler, and I am back to be the toxic teacher everyone has not but has missed.